Why museums protect nude art but ban modern sexual images. Why can a museum display a centuries-old nude painting openly on its walls, while modern sexual images are censored, restricted, or removed from public platforms? At first glance, the contradiction feels obvious. Both may contain nudity. Both may depict the human body. Yet society treats them very differently. The answer lies not only in what is shown, but in context, intention, history, and cultural power. Museums operate within a special cultural framework. When a nude artwork enters a museum, it is no longer viewed simply as an image of a body. It becomes part of art history, education, and cultural heritage. The museum itself changes the meaning of the image. Visitors are expected to approach the work intellectually, historically, or aesthetically rather than purely through personal desire. This transformation is powerful. A nude sculpture from ancient Greece or a Renaissance painting by Michelangelo is presented as part of civilization's artistic legacy. The body becomes linked to philosophy, religion, mythology, anatomy, or beauty ideals. The image is protected not because it lacks sensuality, but because culture has assigned it higher symbolic value. Modern sexual imagery, however, is usually interpreted differently. It is often associated with direct stimulation, entertainment, advertising, or commercial desire. Instead of creating aesthetic distance, it tends to collapse that distance, making the viewer more aware of personal intimacy and physical response. This immediacy changes how institutions and societies categorize the image. Intent plays a major role here. Fine art traditionally claims broader goals beyond arousal, exploring identity, mortality, politics, spirituality, or emotional truth. Modern explicit imagery is often assumed to prioritize immediate sensory reaction. Whether that assumption is always fair is another question entirely, but culturally, the distinction remains powerful. There is also the issue of time. Historical nude artworks have survived long enough to become culturally normalized. Paintings that once caused scandal are now protected behind museum glass. What earlier generations considered dangerous, later generations may redefine as classical or educational. In many cases, museums are displaying artworks that were once censored in their own time. This reveals something important. The line between art and obscenity is not fixed. It changes constantly across history. Another reason museums protect nude art is institutional authority. Museums, universities, and galleries act as cultural gatekeepers. They help decide which images are considered valuable, intellectual, or historically important. An image inside a museum gains legitimacy through association with education and preservation. The same image outside that context may be interpreted completely differently. Medium also matters. Classical paintings and sculptures often create emotional distance through composition, symbolism, and style. Brushstrokes, marble textures, mythological references, and idealized forms remind viewers they are engaging with representation rather than direct reality. Photography and digital media, by contrast, can feel immediate and personal, reducing that sense of distance. Modern society is also deeply influenced by mass media and technology. Sexual images today can spread instantly across the internet, reaching audiences of all ages and contexts. Because of this scale and accessibility, governments and platforms often impose stricter rules around explicit material than museums historically faced. Yet the contradiction remains fascinating. Society accepts the nude body when framed as culture, but fears it when framed as direct sexuality. This reveals that censorship is rarely about nudity alone. It is about who controls the image, why it exists, and how viewers are expected to respond to it. In the end, museums do not protect nude art simply because it is old. They protect it because culture has decided that certain images belong to history, philosophy, and artistic achievement rather than private desire. But that boundary is always shifting. Today's controversial image may become tomorrow's masterpiece, just as yesterday's scandal now hangs quietly in the world's most respected museums.